Matchimanito, Part 2. I don't know when Fleur slipped out. She was too young and had no stories or depth of life to rely upon. All she had was raw power and the names of the dead that filled her. I can speak of them now. They have no more interest in any of us. Old Pillager, Ogamakwi, boss woman his wife, Asa Awi Miniquasens, Choke Cherry Girl, Benishi, Small Bird, also known as Josette, and the last, the boy Ambashi. He is lifted by wind. They are gone, but sometimes I don't know where they are anymore. This place of reservation surveys or the other place, boundless, where the dead sit talking, sit too much, and regard the living as fools. And we were. Starvation makes fools of anyone. In the past, some had sold their allotment land for 100-pound weight of flour. Others who were desperate to hold on now urged that we get together and buy back our land, or at least pay a tax and refuse the settlement money that would sweep the marks of our boundaries off the map like a pattern of straws. Many were determined not to allow the hired surveyors or even our own people to enter the deepest bush. But that spring, outsiders went in as before, permitted by the agent, a short, round man with hair blonde as shave. The purpose of these people was to measure the lake. Only now they walked upon the fresh graves of pillagers, crossed death roads to plot out the deepest water, where the late monster Mishapishu hid and waited. "Stay with me," I said to Fleur when she came to visit. She refused. "The land will go," I told her. "The land will be sold and measured." But she tossed back her hair and walked off down the path, with nothing to eat till thaw but a bag of my onions and a sack of oats. Who knows what happened? She returned to Matchimanito and stayed there alone in the cabin that even fire did not want. A young girl had never done such a thing before. I heard that in those months she was asked for fee money for the land. The agent went out there and got lost, spent the whole night following the moving lights and lamps of people who would not answer him, but talked and laughed among themselves. They let him go at dawn only because he was so stupid. Yet he went out there to ask Fleur for money again, and the next thing we heard, he was living in the woods and eating roots, gambling with ghosts. Some had ideas. You know how old chickens scratch and gabble. That's how the tales started, all the gossip, the wondering, all the things people said without knowing and then believed, since they heard it with their own ears from their own lips, each word. I am not one to take notice of the talk of those fattened in the shade of the new agent's storehouse, but I watched the old agent, the one who never was found, take the rutted turnout to Matchimanito. He was replaced by a darker man who spoke long and hard with many of our own about a money settlement. But nothing changed my mind. I've seen too much go by, unturned grass below my feet, and overhead the great white cranes flung south forever. I am a holdout, like the pillagers, and I told the agent in good English what I thought of his treaty paper. I could have written my name, and much more too, in script. I had a Jesuit education in the halls of St. John before I ran back to the woods and forgot all my prayers. Since I had saved Fleur from the sickness, I was entangled with her. Not that I knew it at first. Only when I look back do I see a pattern. I was the vine of a wild grape that twined the timbers and drew them close. I was a branch that lived long enough to touch the next tree over, which was pillagers. The story, like all stories, is never visible while it is happening. Only after, when an old man sits dreaming and talking in his chair, does the design spring clear. There was so much I saw and never knew.